Hey friends, how you doing? Eric Eulis here. All right, I'm in a very unique place today. Truly is a unique place. And yeah, I'm in the middle of the woods. You get an idea of what's behind me here. Middle of the woods with a bunch of rock and boulders and all that kind of stuff. And interestingly, it appears that this place somehow has some sort of a relationship to D.B. Cooper. And the reason why is because in the recent data that came from D.B. Cooper's clip-on tie, an analysis of the particles that were on D.B. Cooper's clip-on tie, it appears that there is a single particle of this, single particle of this right here. This big, heavy, iron basic rock. This rock is really unique. It has a heavy iron content, has heavy titanium content, has magnesium, has silicon, has a number of other things, magnesium in it. It's got a very identifiable signature. And it's called cumberlandite. It's called cumberlandite. It's a heavy rock, and it's actually in the past been mistaken for a meteorite because not only is there significant iron content, but it's also magnetic. It's a slightly magnetic rock, and it's all over here, right here. You see all over here around me, this cumberlandite. Now, what makes this especially unique, in addition to the fact that apparently a single particle of cumberlandite was found on D.B. Cooper's tie, but what makes this really unique and really rare is that the only place in the world where cumberlandite can be found is right here where I'm standing. It's a 4-acre plot of land in Rhode Island, and it's the only place in the world where you can find this, right here. These rocks here were created somewhere about 600, 700 million years ago. And there's not much known about it other than this is the only place in the world where it can be found. Back in the early 1700s, as early as 1703, the people who lived in this area actually would melt it down and alloy it with something else and use it to make cannons and so forth. And it's believed that they used actually some of this rock to make cannons during the Revolutionary days. But my understanding is it wasn't a particularly effective material to make cannons with. So I think that was kind of a short-lived thing. Now, it's the state rock of Rhode Island. Cumberlandite is the state rock of Rhode Island. And again, that makes sense because it's an exceptionally rare rock, and the only place that you can find it is right here where I'm standing right now. A 4-acre plot of land is the only place in the world where you can find this. And it does appear that there was a particle of this found on D.B. Cooper's tie. Now, of course, that begs the obvious question, how is it at all possible that something like this could end up on D.B. Cooper's tie? And it seems unlikely, it seems implausible that D.B. Cooper came out here wearing a tie and got it on his tie. But it's not beyond the realm of possibilities. It seems much more likely is that a piece of this was collected and picked up and, sitting on someone's desk or shelf or something like that. Maybe they're into rock collecting, and this is kind of a cool rock to have. I've got several pieces of it now. And maybe, he handled it and then touched his tie, and there you go. Maybe it's something like that. If we're talking about crucible steel, Remcru titanium, I suppose it's not beyond the realm of possibilities that they were actually looking at this rock because in particular it has a heavy titanium content. I believe the titanium content is somewhere around 9%, if I'm not mistaken, in the rock here, which is significant amount of titanium in here. So yeah, very interesting thing. Obviously, I'm doing a lot of research and investigating here in Rhode Island, looking into this specifically, trying to get more information on this particle that was found on the tie. There's 6 particles, basically 6 primary elements that make up the cumberlandite, and it matches essentially perfectly with the particle that was found on the tie. I've also seen a picture of the particle, from an electron microscope. It's very fuzzy and blurry, but it looks like I would expect it to look, to be perfectly honest with you. So there it is. There's I guess you could say, the breaking news that there may be some sort of relationship, or there at least appears to be. I think is probably a better way to put it. There appears to be some sort of relationship between cumberlandite, perhaps Rhode Island, D.B. Cooper, the tie, all that good stuff. Make of it what you will. Part of the mystery of D.B. Cooper. That's it. There you go. So any comments or questions, of course, feel free to shoot me an email, eric@ericulis.com. And until next time, folks, as always, cheers.